So welcome to a kind of a different video here today. As you can see, I'm not doing a review or nothing. I just kind of wanted to try a little bit of a different video and kind of just wanted to discuss, kind of do a little top 5 video of what I'm going to be drinking over, this winter break. So especially here where I am today, it's very frigid. We are kind of in a very interesting cold spell right now. So not going outside much, trying to, just stay in and enjoy the warmth in here. And of course there's, with that comes with drinking some nice whiskeys, some bourbons. And I just kind of wanted just to share what I think is my top 5 that I'm drinking for this upcoming winter and have been drinking for the past 2 weeks. Kind of going into Christmas here soon, and then into just the cold weather of like next year, January, February, that kind of thing. So these are in no particular order. There's no particular ranking of these, just kind of just my top 5 in whatever order. And I try to keep a diverse group, so I'm trying not to pick a lot of the same thing. I just wanted to pick something interesting and not from the same distillery and not kind of the same style. I just wanted to pick a whole range of different things. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get started. So I have them down here, and number 1 for me, one of the ones I'm going to be drinking for this winter is Old Grandad 114. Now, this particular bottle here is a straight bourbon whiskey. This has a high rye mash bill on it, so you're going to get that little bit of a bite to it. But the thing that I really like about this, especially for the kind of winter months, are that high spice or high rye spice you kind of get on the palate there. So when you first taste it, you get a little bit of that the little bourbony sweetness type thing. Nothing too crazy, but then as you continue on through it, you get a little bit of a spice, and it kind of just warms you up. And like I said, especially because of the cold weather we're having, and that comes with the winter months, I figured something with a high rye spice would definitely be good. And you can go with rye whiskeys, which you'll see here in a minute, one of the ones that I picked for the rye whiskey category. But at least for just bourbons in particular, I figured something that had a high rye to it would be a good idea to just try to put in here. And the great thing about this is the availability on it is actually pretty good. I think you can find this most anywhere, and it's not expensive. I think low 30s, maybe not even 30 bucks. It just depends on your area. But for here, I don't believe it's that much more expensive than 30 if it is over 30. So you can get this a lot. You can find this a good bit for a good price. You can get a good proof out of it. You get some nice spice flavor with it, and overall, even if you weren't drinking this for the winter, this is just a good bourbon in general for any sort of occasion, for any sort of thing you want to do. I think this kind of bourbon right here is a shelf staple one for anything between cocktails, drinking neat. You can do all sorts of things with this particular bottle that you can't say that a lot about other bourbons, but this is one that I have had for a while and have really enjoyed drinking, and especially here in the winter, I'm going to be drinking a good bit of it. So there's the first bottle. So sticking kind of into the, we're going to go a little bit more expensive here. We're going to go with a Woodford Double Oak, and this happens to be a pick of Woodford Double Oak. So, but either way, pick, no pick, the small batch stuff, it doesn't matter. All of it is delicious. This is actually probably one of my favorite bourbons of all time. I always have this, and it is just so good. So the reason I went with this as a difference to the OGD is, if you've had Woodford Double Oak, you probably know where I'm going with this. The Woodford Double Oak has just a unreal nose and unreal palate to it. Let me just give a quick. I mean, it's just sweet caramel goodness. It just smells like some freshly baked caramel pastry of some kind. It's just thick caramel, maybe chocolatey a little bit. It's delicious on the nose. and it even tastes great on the palate. Like you get a lot of that same type of note onto the palate as well. You get that similar carameliness. You get like just a nice, good mouthfeel. The proof is not too high. That's the only thing that's really bringing it down for me. Is it's a 90.4 proof, so it's a little bit of a lower proof. But the fact that it's this good at this proof already really says a lot for me. So the reason I picked this for kind of the wintry months is, you know, you have something to warm you up, something spicy. But this one particularly adds a nice, just cozy feeling. Like you get something really sweet, something desserty, something you can just sit down and enjoy. And if you're not like too cold, or if you're not like wanting that kind of spice to it, this is just a nice, good, sweet, mellow flavor that you're just going to love. Like it's just one of those bottles that I always have, again, because it's just one of my personal favorites. The oak presence isn't too much for me. Some people might find double oaks, maybe not this one in particular, but just double oaks in general, too oaky. But if you do like some oak, and if you do tend to not be too off-put by that, then this is going to be something that I highly recommend to get for the winter months. So with that, we'll go on and move to the next bottle. So here, the next bottle in this top 5 is actually one that I reviewed before, if you've been watching this channel, but it is the Old Line Sherry Finish. So this, if you don't know, is a I think it's a distillery out of Baltimore. Okay, I couldn't remember. It is a distillery out of Baltimore, and it is I'm pretty sure it is fully run by veterans, and they do some fantastic stuff. So I've had their cask strength regular one, I've had their base level Old Line, and then this is probably my favorite, the Sherry Finish Old Line. So all of them are American single malts, and they have a whole bunch of different kinds of finishes too, not just the sherry. They have, I think, like a stout finish, and they may have a port finish, I'm not sure. But I know the sherry here is one of my favorites. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But the smell on this, I mean, you just get all sorts of like strawberry, raspberry jam type things. Like you can absolutely tell this is a sherry finish or a wine finish of some kind. Just something fruit finished on it. And so this one in particular, the reason I picked it at 100 proof and with a sherry single malt and with a wide availability to ship to online, because you can buy these online on their store, and then you can also, the price for these is not expensive. I think this is a $60 bottle, if even that, maybe lower. But you can get this shipped a lot of places. You can get this available online for a good price, and with what you get it's just incredible. Now, why I picked this for all those other reasons is that, you know, these first two are your typical bourbons with, you know, the spice, sweetness. This has the finish to it, and you know, I like going through my seasons of, you know, when I'm taking sips and stuff, of like wanting to have bourbons, then wanting to have ryes, then wanting to have finishes, and it kind of just depends on, I usually have like a few days where I'm just like, I just really want to have some finishes, or I really just want to have some ryes, or things like that. Now, if I get to that funk with finishes, this is absolutely my go-to bottle. It is just so good, so well put together. They do fantastic stuff at Old Line. And if you haven't tried Old Line, I would highly recommend it. And I mean, even their things, like I have the Old Line base over there, so good. The cask strength or the Navy strength of the regular stuff, so good. This, even better, because it is not too overproof for some people, because it's only 100 proof, and it's a sherry cask, so they do the sherry cask for this very well. And as a single malt, it really takes to that and really just elevates it to another level. So that's another one of the bottles. So the next bottle here, you've probably seen. I'm not sure if they still have it in stores right now. They might, but I'm not sure. I guess I haven't seen it in a minute. But it is this Jim Beam Winter's Reserve, or Winter Reserve. And so the reason I picked this one was because again, I know it's another bourbon, but the fact of the matter is that this is meant exactly for the winter, as it says on the label. It's got some notes of vanilla and cinnamon. I mean, it's a 6-year age statement. It's been aged in new toasted white oak barrels, and that helps impart some of the vanilla and clove and cinnamon flavors onto it. But one of the big reasons that I put it up here was not only is it meant for it, but it's definitely gonna be the cheapest bottle out of this whole bunch. You've got a little over 30, or about 30. You've got about 55, 60. You've got about 60. This, I believe, was like 20, maybe even less. So maybe around 20 bucks. Maybe more expensive, I'm not sure. But it's definitely cheaper than all the other ones, and it's gonna be cheaper than this last one. But the reason I picked this is if you just are on a tight budget this winter, which I understand, I get it. You know, it can be tough times for some people, and you know that kind of year with all the Christmas shopping and all of this, you know, money maybe allocated other things. So if you just want something nice and budget friendly, this is what I recommend. It's good. It's Jim Beam, so you know there's gonna be some good consistency to it. 6-year age statement. It's meant for the winter. It's got some really nice like winter notes with the clove and cinnamon. It's just something that you just can't go wrong with when you're looking for a plethora of bottles to drink over the winter. This is definitely one that I would recommend anybody to add. And finally, I'm gonna go with a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. So I said I was gonna put a rye in here, and of course I had to go with a big boy in the rye department. So if you've never had a Jack Daniel's product other than the Old No. 7, I highly recommend you to give it a try, any of them, and especially these barrel proof rye and Tennessee whiskeys. But I wanted to specifically highlight the barrel proof rye here just because the barrel proof rye, to me, from Jack Daniel's is probably one of the best bang for your bucks you can get in any whiskey genre. Between bourbons, single malts, ryes, wheat whiskeys, all the sorts of whiskeys, you'd be very hard pressed to find a better deal than something you get on these single barrel proofs. Especially if you get a really good one. I don't think even the worst one of these is probably gonna be still way worth your money. But if you get something really good, like this particular one I got was fantastic, or is fantastic, and it is so delicious. So this one in particular is 137.3 proof. So if you are the kind to like proof, you're going to love this bottle. And the reason I picked it was because I have like basically like a cash strength 114. You got something mellower, sweeter. You got something in the middle of the road in terms of proof. You got something that bottoms out in proof with the 86. But I didn't have anything like 120 plus. And I was thinking, you know, there's a lot of people, myself included, who like that proofiness, especially in the winter. It kind of just warms you up a little bit. And what better way to get proof on it than to also go with rye? And the rye and the proof combined really just help warm the whole soul up. And so particularly these Jacks, they are 65 bucks, around 60, 65, and you get some incredible whiskey from this. I drink this all the time, other than just the winter, but especially in the winter, this kind of bottle is the kind that just goes away very quickly, just because of how delicious it is. And if you don't like the proof, even something as simple as adding a little bit of water to this will tremendously aid in not it being too overproof. And I think it will even allow it to maybe open up a little bit with some cool flavors. But overall, this is definitely a bottle that I would recommend. I had to have a rye in here. You couldn't just have a wintry type of video without a rye of some kind. So this is the one that I ended up picking. But yeah, so that's the 5 that I've picked for kind of like if I just had to choose 5, what would I choose to drink over this wintry spell here. And all 5 of these had their own pros to them of like why I picked them. and each of them have their own kind of lane that they stay in, but they are all very, very delicious. And if you can get any of these bottles, like if you can just get a few of these or just one of these, like if you just get one of these bottles to add to your like collection for the winter, I think you won't be disappointed. And if I had to pick one that I think that most people would enjoy, that combines both a good price and a good flavor, I think honestly your OGD 114 here, if you had to pick one of these bottles, I would go with this one. It's the most versatile. For the people who like the spice a lot, this is good, but it has some spice. If you want a little bit lower proof, you can add a little bit of water to it. It won't be too bad, so you don't have to do these. If you want some sweetness, it's got sweetness too. About this, and the cherry finish on this is a little unique, so it's kind of hard. But overall, I think for price and proof, I think your OGD 114 over here is going to be your best bet. But like I said, if you can get any one of these up here, you will absolutely love it. So that's my top 5 list. Again, just wanted to try show off a little different video today, and just show you what I'm going to be drinking this winter. And yeah, just wanted to see what you have to say about it. So if you want to, just leave a comment down below of what you think of this list. Like, what do you think I could add? What do you think was just not a good addition? And let me know what you're going to be drinking down below for this winter. And like I said, if you have any other opinions or anything like that, be sure to tell me down below. But yeah, again, don't forget to stay warm out there, and don't forget to drink some good whiskey.
Hope you enjoyed this top 5 video. Let me know down below what you're going to be drinking this winter. I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I'll see you next time here on Burn and Barrel.